Ernie, if you want to pitch in at all, you're welcome to as well. But the journey starts in Manaus. They have direct flights from Miami. And Manaus is a huge, I say a huge city. It's got almost 1.2 million people there. But it was really, back in the 30s and 40s, was a very European city because of the rubber boom. And what happened, there was almost 2 million people living there, and it's actually regressed almost 800,000 because the vulcanization of rubber. But you can, as you're going around the town, you could see a lot of the influence of European culture, architecture, these kind of things. But this is the Opera House, and the Opera House is just beautiful inside. There's actually a opera practicing in there, and just very beautifully, you know, they've preserved it, and just really cool place to walk around and see some of the culture there.
They built that when they were dumping the jungle there for the rubber barons. A place for them to go and hay and marble.
Yep. But a lot of the architecture is very European as well. But this is where we start the journey from, and we try to get out of town pretty quickly. But it's definitely very interesting. There's fish markets and all that kind of stuff, and really good food. But this is our boat, the Iracema. It's a 24-passenger. It's made really local. And right outside of Manaus is the Meeting of the Waters, which was, if you saw that muddy river, which is basically sediment that comes from Peru and also Bolivia. Right here, you can see all the sediment. So that comes down the Solomon River, and that meets the Rio Negro, which is the Black River. That's what that means. And so those rivers will go side by side for almost about 10 or 15 miles. And one is very, very sediment, and you can actually feel the heaviness of the water, and one's really light. And there's fishermen around, but we'll go to the Meeting of the Waters, which is really cool. Tons of fishermen. These go in these little tributaries go up in these cut-off lakes, and you'll see some fishermen up there, usually with nets, and they're trying to just, right at the opening of the thing, they put a net and they just slay fish. But there's tons of opportunity to go up in some of these other tributaries where no locals are going, and you can catch peacock bass and all kinds of fish up some of these tributaries. But we can either go in the dugout canoes, or we can go on the paddleboard. So you can go, you know, you can choose whatever you want. But this is our home. There's air conditioning in every room. There's also a bathroom in every room as well. And it's got an upper roof deck, which is really spectacular. This is the dining area. The food is fantastic. They catch fish every day, and that's what you eat. You don't sleep a lot. You can see these are the flooded forests. You don't sleep a lot because we're up usually at 4 a.m. checking out howler monkeys on paddleboards or in the dugout canoes. You come back and have breakfast, and then have a little bit of a cat nap. And then we travel. The boat will move a little bit, and then go to another place, and then we'll paddle for 5-6 hours back to the boat, and have lunch, and do some paddling in the afternoon, or fishing if you want, or even travel by the dugout canoe, and then come back and have dinner. And then we'll take a little bit of a break, and you can paddle some more at sunset, and then go. We do these night excursions where this is one of the night excursions because the sloth are nocturnal. They're also herbivores. But they put lights in the big dugout canoes, high-powered lights. And what they'll do, this is at night, they'll shine on the riverbank, and all you'll do is see eyeballs. And we'll go catch them. We'll pull them out of the water. Tarantulas. Tons of snakes, insects. The Rio Negro is not there's no malaria for one, anaconda. There's no malaria because the pH balance of the river, it's so dark, it doesn't go in they can't breed. There is some pools and some from the rain that some mosquitoes will breed, but not any malaria mosquitoes. To be honest with you, there's not much. I mean, we're on the river the whole time, and I don't even use any insect repellent. There's, I think, Joel wearing not even a long sleeve shirt. We caught some bats, put a net up, some vampire bats.
Oh, who's the skipper? This is also a biologist. He's such a wealth of knowledge.
Lemurs.
So,
There's a lot of wildlife in the water too. There's freshwater dolphins. There's also otters. There's catfish that are 200 pounds. There's Aeropaima that are monsters too. There's, of course, the peacock bass and all the other fish that are in there. It's just, and also manta rays and all these little sandbars too that you go. We actually have some barbecues on the sandbars as well, but just really cool. We had a couple bonfires as well at night. Is this Moe's Island? Yeah. So you can see how the forests are flooded, and you just sort of paddle through them. The paddle boards are perfect for the Amazon. I mean, it's unbelievable how perfect it is because you're so quiet, and you'll see some video here how you can get up underneath some of the branches through the paddle boarding that the big boats can't do. You basically have to bring a machete or a saw or something to get through it. But just beautiful flat water. It's flowing a little bit, but it's really flat water and really simple and easy. And here's my example of going through some of the flooded forest where you have to do some ducking. And
The river rises like 35 to 45 feet. It'd be like if the forest here was flooded 50 counties of the forest. It was like if you adopt that, it's like you take a track trail all through it. The one thing I found was Doug was gracious enough to invite me on this trip is I helped him get these places. But what I really found, because you hear about here, is
dolphins.
pink dolphins, and they truly are pink. They're not white.
And a big snout too. And they're friendly too.
But the thing that I have to say about this place is that, like a lot of people have got the Amazon, you think about how clean it is. I found it to be totally the opposite. I'd never been down here. It was one of the most welcoming, magical, most restful, peaceful places I've ever seen in my life. It was the people there have nothing. They live in these villages, and they were the happiest. And it was amazing. It was just really, really a beautiful place to go. The river doesn't have, I think, I don't know what the actual degree that it drops. You can hardly tell it was a current. And the first half of this trip, we were paddling upriver, and it was just like glassy water like this. Just magical.
Yeah, we jump in the water 30 times a day. And we do fish for piranha by hand, but there's so much food that there's never been a piranha attack. So we're in the water constantly, and it's very, very inviting. There is some cooler streams in temperature-wise that are actually quite refreshing, but the main Amazon River is pretty warm. I'd say the temperature.
We were on this trip, and we were about halfway on this paddle. We had no idea. We made this up as we went along. And all of a sudden we heard a motor, and I goes, what's that?
Color is just unbelievable.
And they came up with their canoe, cleared out a whole area with their machetes, built a table, built a campfire, and cooked us a hot meal. We even had fresh pineapple upside down.
And this is the Rio Branco, which is one of the tributaries. This is peacock bass. This is one of the tributaries to the Rio Negro, and it is a little bit cooler. I think the temperature is a little bit chillier than the normal part of the Rio Negro. Yeah.
Why do you think there's such a misconception there?
I think because people don't know.
How about the river of Down?
Yeah, I mean that was Roosevelt, going down the river. Yeah.
That was a different time.
And we paddle up to there's petroglyphs that are over 1,000 years old.
That's we never had to backtrack. This trip is a liverboard boat. You have your own dual occupancy staterooms, you can private bathroom shower. We started in the morning, we were both paddling, we kept going, and all of a sudden you come around the bend, right there waiting for us.
You can see the upper deck too. You can sit up there.
Black piranhas. It's actually good eating there, very good eating. It's a good place.
They make you hallucinate. Yeah, well, dreams. I mean, they had piranha soup. The piranha soup. I mean, I just had really vivid dreams. I think whatever's in the piranha. I don't know.
There's
That's about a 3-foot stingray. You can see the upper deck. It is closed off in the upper deck. They had a barbecue up there. Hammocks. Caprianas. We did get a couple storms. It'll probably rain maybe 20 minutes in a day, and then it could have rained a couple hours in a day. It depends on the day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, when the rain would come in, it would drop 10 to 15 degrees.
Yeah, it would be a little cooler.
For me, it's like 90, 95 degrees, and it dropped down.
Yeah, we played soccer with a bunch of the natives. We do visit an indigenous tribe, and it's quite remarkable. They dance and sing with us and paint our faces, and that's how they live. It's not like a commercial thing.
Actually, Bo has a family. He actually kind of takes care of a lot of these villages. He brought up all those uniforms for the kids, and they immediately ready to put them on. They were in school, and they had never paddleboard. We actually, at the end of the day, we were there. We were able to leave, but it took us like 3 hours to be able to get them off the boards because they were having so much fun. And these children are like little children in the river. All they do is paddle.
Well, there's no roads, so all the transportation is by river.
On these little boats right here?
Yep.
Yep.
And they'll live in these sort of stilted houses. And
This little boy right here, we went to this village. We had no reason to go there, but Bo had to stop because his father was coming within 3 days to pick up that family. His family has been developing this area or helping us preserve this area, and they were going to pick up the family and bring the boy back to the house, and they were paid to have the corrective surgery for his cleft palate.
And they're all stilted because the river could even come up that high sometimes. And you can see it's already been up 30 or 40 feet, and it could go up another 30 feet sometimes. So that's why they're all on stilts.
Yeah, this is up high on the big bank.
And Karen given some books and paper and pencils and
This is Mo letting him know that the father was coming to pick them up.
well, he's been a tourist guy. I mean, sort of taking people up the river. For his dad did it in a little tiny dugout canoe like 30 years ago. Was one of the first Brazilian Amazon guides, and then he sort of adopted doing. Then they start building the bigger boats and inviting more people, and so him just interacting with all the communities as he's going up the river and taking clients and befriending them and preserving some of the areas, and because there's a lot of deforestation going on, and so he's just sort of. And this is a big cauldron that they make what's called manioc, which is like a fiber or a root that they make, and they cook it in that big, huge cauldron and for like a half a day, and it's their grain. Also, it has protein in it as well, and they put it on everything.
For several hours, it's gonna bring some. That's the food already
One of the things
for.
about
Starch.
boats is that these boats have a sort of symbiotic relationship with the villagers. These guys are hundreds of miles from civilization, so they're like the hard goods suppliers. These people grow fresh fruit, mango, papaya, pineapple, bananas, all fresh fruits and vegetables, and they trade hard goods to
Like fuel.
they're the source of that. So that's how I think most dad developed this
Right.
relationship like that.
And that's how we eat the whole trip. We're stopping at villages and trading fruits and vegetables for our daily food. And of course,
Open one night and the guy had
it's actually raining right here. You can see the drops in a little bit.
kind of had duck, and so we traded and we had fresh duck that evening.
But it's 10 days. 10 days, and we have fresh fish every night. They're busy, catching fish every day.
And it looked like they were sort of special paddleboards. They had sort of a little lip on them. Are they
Well,
different?
They're
these
inflatables.
boards that we have, these are inflatables. You
they're
actually
inflatables,
we
okay.
supply the boards, and you actually fly because you can check them like luggage. So it's the only way we can get them down.
Okay.
And the new generation of paddleboards are amazing. I mean, they actually paddle.
And they're inflatable.
And they have them for sale right here at Willard's.
take a hardboard. I paddled this spring, not paddled, hiked up to Five Lakes. And then paddled up there, but
Yep.
you never carry a hardboard on the trail. But you get that.
In all the places that I've been to, the Antarctic, Spitsbergen, Greenland, I bring an inflatable with me there too.
And then just you pump it with a foot pump?
Takes about, it's a hand pump. It takes about 5 minutes. They're high pressure.
They've got, when they first came out there, when I first came, but the new generation, they're really, really good. They're made out of the same material that whitewater rafts are made out of, which is lighter weight
Kayaks.
now, and here we are kind of climbing fallen trees to get through a trail. I have to make one statement. We came to a place, and the thing is, this river is so expansive. It's so, I mean, if we didn't have flow, we would.
Oh, absolutely.
Lost down. But the thing is that you keep paddling up these little narrow passageways and tributaries. And came up one day to an island. We were coming across this island. And we came up the island, we stopped. We got out, we started paddling up a little tributary that was going into the interior of the island. Paddled about 3 or 4 miles, winding around, going through was one of the places where we climbed under the logs. And then we come out to this beautiful lake. Then I realized I'm on a lake that was up the river that's on an island that's on a river.
Yeah.
So, the thing is that the magnitude
Of the amount of water.
and how massive this area. You could take the footprint of Lake Tahoe and place it 50 times in an area.
More than that. Yeah.
Yeah, just one small area.
Yeah.
It's so massive.
I also bring lights along, so we use those Naquia lights. They're beautiful lights because it doesn't look like it's very clear, but you can actually see really well at night and early in the morning when we're out with looking for the monkeys. So we put the lights on, which is really awesome. And even at night, if you feel like you want to paddle at night and you don't want to be in a dugout canoe, it's actually a lot of fun. A little scary though. It's like sort of cave diving. You know, you can't see anything behind you.
Fish jump in the water.
Oh yeah, these big huge dogfish that have like these big huge teeth underneath. They were jumping on my board and had to kick them off because they were attracted to the lights.
But the water's how glassy. This water is so. It was one of, for those of us that like to think that we're not really connected to technology, we can turn it off. I think I thought I could, but I'm a junkie like everybody else is. And when we got out there, it was so cool. After like the second, third day, I'm not sure which, we could get up in the morning and paddle before breakfast in the dark. We had the lights, and then till it was sunrise. Came back on the boat, had breakfast, and we were moving the boat, and I went up and I took a nap. And I woke up in the middle of the nap, I was on a hammock up on the top deck, and I'm laying here trying to think of what day is it? How long have we been here? And like a minutes went by, and I started to laugh. Like for the life of me, I could not think of what day it was. And I started to realize, I goes, not only that I didn't know, I didn't care. It was like such a soul cleansing feeling to get truly disconnected. If you want to go on a trip like this for no other reason than to get off the grid, it's worth it.
Yeah, we'll be running a trip in February 19th through March 1st. It does require